Sure, let's do that.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jason Donnelly. This is the Marketing Combat Podcast. And if you look to my left or right, depending on where this is, possibly above me or below me, you'll find a beautiful man with a cowboy hat, with a beard that many, many men will fight for, and many women wish they had.
True.
Either way, Chris, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about the Liquid Death campaign that just launched, basically riffing on the 90s Pepsi Jet giveaway advertising campaign. They are giving away a jet, if you haven't seen. So Liquid Death launched this thing where they will give you a jet if you basically collect all their cans, similar to the Pepsi giveaway campaign. It launched a couple of weeks ago to much fanfare, much applause from the industry, from people alike. And today we're debating if it's good or bad. I'm actually going to switch things up here, Jason, and go with what you think is going to happen. I want you to argue for why you think this is a great advertising campaign. And I'll be on the other side why I think it's not a great campaign. I'm going to start. I don't think it's a great campaign for some of the reasons I already mentioned. It's very much like this thing that I hate right now is this riffing on existing cultural things, memeing, if you will, things that aren't really bringing anything new and creative to the table. They're just basically taking an existing property and putting their own little spin on it, similar to what Disney does with all the things that they've bought in over the last few years. Marvel, Star Wars, Jurassic Park, all of these things that have come out that are just properties that have been bought in, IP that have been bought in, and then they do a riff on it, and it's not as good as the original. It's not as interesting. And I think this is the same. Like Liquid Death, you've fallen a bit. I used to think that you guys were probably the gods of advertising right now, the gods of creativity, because you guys were coming with such innovative and interesting new ideas. And I think you've lost the plot a little bit, especially with this one, because it is just, hey, let's give away a jet like Pepsi did back in the 90s or tried to do. And we know that was controversial because there was a lot of like that didn't happen. And there was a whole documentary about it, which is very interesting, by the way. Pepsi, Where's My Jet? Go see that documentary. But this is why I don't think it's a good advertising campaign. I don't think a lot of kids care about this. Like, I think the only people that care about this is 1990s people like you and me. Any of the younger consumers, they don't know that this happened in the 90s. They don't care, and they don't have a love for jets. In the 90s, we actually like had a love for jets because of Tom Cruise and Top Gun and like the Desert Storm and like all the things that were happening around that. War machines today, that's not cool anymore. The culture's not there. So it's only me and Jason and others in our age group that actually like this kind of stuff. Nobody else knows about it. Nobody else understands it. I don't think their younger generation even gives a shit about winning a jet. So that's me. I think it's a bad campaign. Jason, you take it away. You tell me why it's an awesome campaign.
Let me tell you a billion different reasons why it's an awesome campaign. One, nostalgia.
We don't have time.
Every single Gen Xer who sees this ad wants a jet. Every older millennial who sees this ad wants a jet. Every kid, I don't care if Tom Cruise is 70 years old, if he's still doing these Maverick Top Gun movies, I'm going to watch him and I'm going to want a jet. Third, or 7C, whatever the number is I'm at now. If you don't want the jet, that's okay. They'll give you just a bucket of $250,000 cash just to play with. And if you get the jet, they'll also give you 6 months of hangar access so that you don't even have to stress about it if you want to try to sell it. So they're getting the nostalgia. They're getting the jet if you want a jet. They're getting the money if you want money. And if you're already going to buy Liquid Death, if you're already going to go buy it, just take a picture of the receipt and you got an entrance. You can have 400 entries. I feel like I'm almost selling Liquid Death right now. Go buy 400 single cans of Liquid Death, take a picture of it, and send it to Liquid Death. Yeah, I think it's a great ad for all the reasons I just said. I think it's going to do killer, and I am probably going to go get a Liquid Death after this episode and take a picture of it just so I can win it and shove my jet in Chris's face. See how that could have gone a much different way?
I hope you win the jet. Here's the thing. Let's talk about this. What human insight, what interesting piece of information is in that makes you go, oh, that's cool. That's interesting. Tell me.
Pepsi didn't do it. They failed. And there was a movie made about it because people were so interested in the topic that they're like, let's put a movie together and show people how Pepsi failed. Liquid Death's just like, hey, we got a jet. Let's do it. Let's do it for real. And instead of being owned by like a Pepsi or a Coke or whatever, Liquid Death is its own thing. It's an almost $1.4 billion company. And they're like, yeah, let's do the thing that the bigwigs failed. Like they're killing it.
So that's the insight. Like, let's put our thumb in Pepsi's face. How does that help the consumer? How does
They
that
can win a
actually,
jet, Chris.
What are you going to do with the jet?
I'm not going to take the jet. I'm going to take the bucket of money because you can
Then what
get
the hell?
250,000.
Who cares? The money is like, okay, so what? So what's interesting about that? Like collecting
money.
cans, of course. But like,
would like more.
I'll give you an example of a giveaway. Like, do you remember the McDonald's Monopoly game?
I miss the Monopoly. I love that game.
Exactly. Go with that for a minute here. You love the Monopoly, the McDonald's Monopoly game because it had a purpose and it had collecting properties on the fry boxes, on the drinks, whatever you were buying. It actually allowed you to play a game. It allowed you to enjoy a fantasy of winning, enjoy a fantasy of playing Monopoly with you, your friends against McDonald's. That was interesting, right? That was about not just winning some money, but actually like entertainment, about participating in a global thing where it's like people will like, oh, I've got this, I'll trade you this. Do you have those? I need 3 of those. That was interesting. That was about family. That was about, a board game is about family and McDonald's is about family. This is not about anything. This is zero. This is a nothing burger. There's nothing involved in here that has anything to do with liquid death, has nothing to do with the culture that Liquid Death has. It has nothing to do with actual nostalgia because none of their consumer group actually knows about this shit. It's only you and me and a handful of others. That's why I think it's a bad ad. It misses the mark completely. I'll stand on that. And I think a better giveaway is like a McDonald's Monopoly.
Number 1, I don't agree with you. And number 2, I want every single person listening to this episode to tell Chris why he's wrong. So please put it in the comments. Send me an email directly. Send it to Chris. Send it either way. And I will share it with him and show him that everyone agrees with me and they all want jets or a bucket of money. Write me.
We'll leave it at that.
Please.
Let us know in the comments if you want a jet. We will send you one.
We will not send you a jet. Chris was
Yes, we
mistaken. Delete that. Delete it.
Hashtag, you can email me at chris@won'tsendyouajet.com. And
we have that?
we will see you guys in the next one. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Marketing Combat Podcast, where one of us has to debate against the other one for or against a marketing topic, a marketing ad, a news story, whatever it is. And we come to you almost every weekday with new stuff. So check us out, subscribe, help us out, support the channel, like us, subscribe to us. If you're seeing this on YouTube, give us a comment. If you're listening to this on your local podcast platform, leave us a review, a 5-star review, a 2-star review, a 1-star review, a 3-star. 3-star in the middle. I mean, like, that's the best, right? That's just like this podcast is okay. That's
make
what
it a
we
5.
want.
Do 5.
Make it, or make
5-star. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. I've been Chris Kubbernus. This has been...
I'm Tom Cruise.
He's Tom Cruise, of course.
See you next week.
See you guys next week.